Hello everybody, thanks for checking out my Resident Evil 1 Remake Remaster Jill playthrough. I wanted to preface the first gameplay video with something I was just going to put in the description, but it's too long and I decided I'd rather just read it in a video. Important gameplay notes. I've beat this game at least 4 times with Jill on easy and normal in the past. Let's just say 2 times on easy and 2 times on normal to be fair. Actually been stressing a little over this playthrough. I guess because the game is so damn good and mostly fair to the player, I always seem to be intimidated by this game when I play it. I do find it hard to make a mental map of the mansion layout for some reason. I personally agree that hiking easy is the equivalent to normal in most other games, and mountain normal is really like playing on hard in most other games. If my memory is correct, I think Real Survival, which is extra hard mode, was the intended normal mode at one point, or at least it was the prototype mode, which is crazy to think about it. I'm opting to play on a hiking easy with Joe Valentine on this playthrough. I hope the internet at large will forgive me and not burn me at the noob stake. When I play as Chris Redfield, which I never have, I will play on mountain normal in that playthrough. After I finish with Joe Valentine's playthrough, I may do a few shorter games in between to give me a little extra time to prepare for the Chris Redfield playthrough on normal. So thank you for listening. I just wanted to throw this out here before you got into the gameplay. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hello everybody, welcome to the first gameplay video for Resident Evil 1 Remake Remaster on the PC. Let's check our options real quick. Covered this already in the config and tech video. I'm just verifying for myself what my settings are. I am using Type B alternate controls so I can have tank and 3D. Vibration, auto defense, I'm going to go with all that. Brightness for me, I settled on 70. Audio, I'm going to do 50% on the music and 100% on the sound effects. Language, English with subtitles. Video settings, basically everything as high as it can be. I am using Reshade to inject SMAA, but I'm also going to go ahead and leave FXAA on in the game as well. So that's all good. I mean, these are really only the main 2 settings you get, and you can only go on up to high. And then I don't want that on, it's off. Okay, so before we actually get going here, I'm going to make this video an hour-long video. Usually my videos are about 30 minutes each, but I'm going to ramble on this one, and it's going to be slow starting just because there's things I want to cover. And this is the first game in the Resident Evil series on my channel, so it's a little in-depth, a little involved. I'll first say this game is roughly 10 to 30 hours on the playthrough. I guess you can equate that roughly to both Jill and Chris. I'm going to be playing Jill first on easy mode, using her STARS default outfit but color adjusted. And then after I play Jill, I will play Chris, and I'm going to play Chris on normal mode. I struggled deciding on if I was going to do normal or easy mode on Jill's playthrough. If you watched my previous videos, I made the comment that I'm a little intimidated by this game. I've played it, a good handful of times through, but it doesn't play like Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil 3 Remake, Resident Evil 7 and 8, Resident Evil 4 Remake. If you've played any of those games, this game does not play that way. It plays more like the original Resident Evil 4, where you have to stand in place and shoot. You can't move around while you're shooting. And this game revolves around fixed camera angles and tank controls. So a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't really care either way. A lot of people are fine or prefer it that way. The first original 3 Resident Evil games, as well as the first 3 or 4 Silent Hill games, all played with tank controls and had it. So anyway, roughly 10 to 30 hours. I say somewhere in the middle, just because I'm going to be, showing stuff, reacclimating myself to this game with the Jill playthrough. Jill will go slow just because it's the first playthrough in a while. And Chris may be slow just because I've never actually beaten the game with Chris. I've played the good early to mid part with Chris once before, but generally I always play Jill when I do play this game. So 10 to 30 hours, anywhere from the low end to the high end. I already stated this first video here is going to be an hour long just because I know it's going to go slow. I do wanted to state again that I'm going to be using the trainer in this game, not to cheat, but to be able to use skins for the outfits, mods I want to use, and as well as utilizing the door skip mod that the trainer offers. This is really the only trainer I can think of I've ever used in a game, period, but I'm not using it for health or cheats or nothing like that. I wanted to state, as I don't remember if I did already in another video, but I've come to the conclusion that if you are going to use the trainer on the PC version of the game from the Nexus mods, I recommend you start the game just as I have, get to the menu like it is here, and then this is where we're going to go ahead and do it here. Give me just a moment to get my keyboard. So go ahead where it says push start to play or press start. Do that, let it load, get you into this menu so that you see these options. And then I'm going to Alt-Tab out to my desktop here. And I have already made a shortcut to the trainer. So when you're on the desktop here, you're going to have, this is my Razer headset audio stuff and Steam. You're going to have your game down here. You want to go ahead and run this, open it. It's going to ask you for administrative privileges and you're going to give it to it, otherwise it won't work. Let it load, and what you want to do, whether or not you want to wear a particular outfit or not, just the fact that you're using the trainer, you kind of need to pick something because it always seems to want to default on Chris stars. And there's a save and load thing. I generally just always save settings when I do stuff out of habit. But if you go to try to load, it never loads any settings. It just loads to the defaults. So I don't know what's wrong with that there. But in my case, we're playing Jill. Jill's character, Jill's story. So you want to make sure you're on Jill for both. Because you can do character swapping, but be doing the Chris story, me playing as Jill, all that kind of stuff. And if you are doing that, the mod maker of the trainer says to enable fix missing files if you're going to do any kind of swapping like that. So for my case, this playthrough, Jill, and you can, this is the reason right here I'm using the trainer, so that I can pick any one of these outfits without having to unlock them first by playing through a few times. Because I've lost my old save and I haven't played in a while, so in Jill's case, I do want to use the default stars outfit because that's what I wanted to use. I'm using a recolor, basically, which is also then slightly recolored again because I'm using a reshade on top of it. But you need to pick what you want anyway, whether or not you wanted to force it, just go ahead and pick it. And then you can do anything else you want here. The only other thing I'm going to use is the door skip hack, which I've already illustrated in my modding video. If you want to see how that works, go watch my modding video, please. You can do whatever you want here, but I'm trying to play a legit playthrough where I'm not cheating and using increased speeds or like invincibility or none of that. Let me look at my notes on my phone here. So I had some things I'm wanting to cover here. Yes, so run the game first, then Alt-Tab out and run the trainer. Don't run the trainer first and then run the game, because I've had a few experiences where I've ran the trainer and then started the game, and it just does like an infinite load on a black screen. It never crashes, it never locks up, but it never starts the intro Capcom logo, and you just have to like Control-Alt-Delete and try to force end the Resident Evil process. And I think that stems from running the trainer first. So get the game going first, get to that part of the menu, new and load, and then run the trainer. So the other things I want to talk about here. There's this option down here, first person FPS boost. There's a live video of this on the trainers, on the Nexus.com, the trainers mod page. The developer, Razor, R-A-Z-O-R, he posted a video actually showing adjusting this setting, the slider, because it can go from, it's not on, it can go from 1 to 6. And he was doing it in real time in a smaller window, and the graphics were changing. So what I'm thinking is the higher you put that FPS boost number, the certain things it's going to tone down in the game graphically, like maybe shadowing and lighting and stuff. So yeah, you're going to get FPS because you're going to make the game look worse than it should because you're taking the settings down. So don't think that you should check this on and then put it all the way to 6 and that you're going to get an FPS boost. You're actually going to end up making the game look worse. So this is only needed or necessary to mess with if you have a low-end GPU or PC. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend messing with it. But yeah, all I'm using is I'm picking Jill anyway. I want her default outfit, and I'm using door skip. And this is kind of like what I would consider a subtle door skip mod. It'll slightly show the door animation slightly and play the sound, but it doesn't make you sit through the whole thing. So let me see what else I wanted to talk about here. I've explained the missing file option if you wanted to do character swapping and all that kind of story swapping stuff. The author of this trainer, Razor, says to use fix missing files, but I'm not doing that. So we're not worried about that. So that covers the trainer. So then I just by habit, let me also show you, there's actually tabs here. You start off on this main page. I didn't realize this for a while, but then if you click inventory, then you can like change like what's your inventory. I don't know why it's cut off down here for me, but it is a little bit. You can do some other crazy stuff. Hotkeys, so like the skip doors mod, you can pick a different combination of key you want to use. And then when you press that key, which I think I just did there by accident, when you press that key together, it'll enable or disable the effects in this list here. And you can say, speak it, make a sound, whenever it works, whatever. So when you get done by habit, I just click save, but I never end up loading the settings. Just say yes. And then you minimize it. This has to stay running. Game version 1.10 is running. It'll tell you it's not running if the game isn't. But like I said, you should run the game first, then the trainer. So save your settings, minimize it, keep it running. And then let's go back to the game. And then when you're back in here now, I do not recommend that you Alt-Tab out again. Because in my experience, I've been getting game crashes. I'm going to take a sip of drink. It'll let me Alt-Tab out that first time and get the trainer going. But once you've activated the trainer, come back into the game. When I Alt-Tab, it usually always crashes. Okay, so getting that part out of the way. The next part, I want to mention the useful links in the description of this first gameplay video. I'm only going to put it in the first one. it's going to link you to different things like some a guide you can follow, just some different odds and ends that you'll want to reference, some solution to some puzzles, maps that I've put indicators on showing you keys, which keys you get, which doors they open. You won't see that in the game. They didn't show what keys open what doors in this game. So check the description of this video. There's going to be some really useful stuff in there that you can link to. Yeah, what am I using this playthrough? I am going to be referencing a guide just to make sure I'm keeping in the right direction and I'm not missing nothing. I'm going to be referencing those maps I just mentioned for the keys for the initial part of the mansion. I've got some... there's only a few puzzles in the game. I've got some notes on the painting room puzzle, on a key code for a room, and then a thing called a V-jolt solution that you make in the game. So a few notes on that. I've got links in the description to all of those as well, the same things I'm going to be looking at. Okay. The next thing I have here is to go over the GUI, the graphical user interface, the controls. I like to do that in each new game. I think we could probably go ahead and take a look at that. Here's the control scheme I'm using, and I am using an Xbox One controller, I guess. But this layout, I used to use PlayStation 3 or 4 controller using DS Windows program to make it work on Windows, because the deal is Sony won't provide, for Sony PlayStation controllers, they won't provide Microsoft with an adequate driver. So a modder has made a program called DS4 for the controller from the PlayStation 4, and he's basically made a program with a driver to make you be able to let you be able to use PlayStation controller. But I switched from that to the Xbox just because I didn't want to mess with external software, and I'm happy with it. So that's my layout. I'm using Type B. A, I guess this would be the defaults. I'm not using that. I'm using B, but you can go C, you can go D, you can go E, so A all the way to E. But yeah, I'm going to be rocking B. Alternate controls, so I can have both 3D on my thumbsticks and tank on my directional key, because I'm going to use both in the game. I'll get into that when we get more into control usage in the game, when I look at the options of the inventory, character screens, and controls. Vibrations on, auto defense items. So that covers the control area. So I still want to go over the graphical UI and then talk about mods as they come up, like the door skip and the texture, upscale textures in the game, different things. I'm going to try to make a point to acknowledge or point out a mod in use, basically, when it happens in the game when we're playing through, just to be like, okay, here's that mod, and this is what it changed, and this is why I'm using it, and so forth. So I'll do that as we go through. Then I have my game notes. I'm just double checking anything here. Make sure I got my maps open. I'm just going to my own Google Drive on my phone, and I have a Maps tab open, and I have the guide that I'm referencing. I think it's an IGN guide. I mean, I don't back IGN or nothing like that, you know. I know they're kind of known for giving a lot higher reviews on stuff than most gamers would give to games and whatnot, but they do have some pretty decent guides from time to time. So the guides are going to be kind of hard for me to follow as I'm actually playing, but I'll reference it while we're playing and at the end of videos, and just make sure I'm on track with where I need to be. Okay, so we got 42 minutes left of this hour-long video. We're going to get started here. I do have a game save already, but that was just for testing. I'm going to overwrite that as we play. So we're going to be doing New game.
Resident Evil.
Go on with widescreen view, alternate controls, subtitles on. And I've showed you this screen already in the previous videos. A lot of people, especially when this came out, they didn't understand or really know what the difficulty order was, because they don't tell you easy, normal, hard like most games. And this, like taking a walk, you can relax and enjoy yourself. This was not added until, I want to say, this is a remake, but this is the remaster of the remake. And I think in the remaster they added this third difficulty. And this third option, the bottom one, is very easy mode. Very easy. Like going on a hike, but good exercise, but not too strenuous. This is easy mode. And like climbing a mountain, fulfilling, but takes a lot of work. This is normal. So you got normal, easy, very easy. But like I think I've also said, in the terms of difficulty and gameplay in this game, normal mode for this game would be like hard mode on something else. And easy mode in the middle here would be more like another game's normal mode, another series. So the top one's normal, if you want to play normal. You can unlock hard and then extra hard, real survival. I think you get hard mode just from beating, I think you might have to beat it on normal. I forget what I said, but I've already indicated all that. Either normal, beat it on normal, or easy maybe, and you can unlock hard, and then you can get real survival later. And yeah, I'm going to noob out in this playthrough, and I'm going to play on easy for Jill, just so I can reacclimate myself to this game and not get totally destroyed on YouTube by my horrible gameplay. I could beat it on normal, but I would struggle more, and I'd rather have it a little easier on this playthrough. And when I play Chris, I'm going to do like climbing a mountain, because then I'll be fresh with the game, and I'll still have the added challenge of not really knowing exactly what to expect in Chris's playthrough. So we're going to do this. We're going to do Jill first. So here's Chris Redfield, Claire Redfield's brother. This looks like the, yeah, Resident Evil 5 Chris, the punching boulders with your fist Chris. This right here is probably my favorite Chris of all of them so far. I didn't like the Chris at the end of RE7. I didn't like RE8 Chris. He's pretty decent here. I can live with that Chris. He just got crazier as time went on. And then here's Jill Valentine, her Stars outfit, and then her BSAA, which would be, I guess, what she wore in like Revelations, Resident Evil Revelations. So, but we're going to go with this one. And here we go. Have a cutscene to watch here, intro.
Alpha Team is flying around the forest zone, situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we are searching for the helicopter of our compatriots, Bravo Team, who disappeared during the middle of their mission.
Haven't found it yet?
No, not yet, Brad. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. The Bravo Team was sent in to investigate, but we lost contact.
Look, Chris.
Bravo Team's helicopter was a derelict. Save for the remaining body of Kevin. We continued our search for the other members, and it turned into a nightmare. this way. Damn it! Make for that mansion!
There are only 3 STARS members left now. Captain Wesker, Barry, and myself. We don't know where Chris is.
What is this place?
Not quite your ordinary house, that's for sure.
Hey, Wesker, where's Chris?
Jill, no! You don't want to go back out there.
But we've got to find...
What was that?
Chris?
No.
Jill, go and investigate.
I'm going with her. Chris and I go back a long way.
All right. You two go. I'll secure this area.
Stay sharp. A dining room.
Okay, everybody. Oh man. Alright. So a few things I wanted to cover here. You got with the Y key. This will bring up our map. And basically the brown areas are the areas we haven't fully discovered. It's flashing because we're in that room. It's indicating a typewriter's in here. It's where we can save. The doors, the blues are ones we've been walked through before. The light green one on the far right is one that's unlocked. We just haven't entered it. And the red ones are doors we can go through, but we need a key to do so. So it tells you up there. Green is explored, and exploring is kind of this tanner color. So at least you know if you've found everything that there is to find or not. And then the B button. This is your inventory screen. Got a few things we can read here. You start off with the STARS manual, Mansion 1. STARS manual, these instructions are based on the default control scheme, meaning probably type A. How to view the status screen. Press Y during the game. You will not be able to view the status screen during cutscenes or while being attacked. In the status screen, you will be able to do the following things: equip weapons, use items, view maps, read files. How to view the map. Select the map from the status screen or simply pushing the right button during the game. If you have not obtained a map, only the places you have explored will be displayed. How to read the maps. Uncolored rooms, unexplored, orange rooms, not all items obtained, green rooms, items obtained. So green means you're all clear, orange, there's items still to get, and uncolored rooms are just unexplored. So there's really 3 different states. Red doors locked, white doors unlocked, blue doors opened already and walked through. How to push objects. When there is a movable object, face the object in the direction you want to push it in and press the left stick into the direction you are facing. Climbing up and climbing down. Walk up to an object that's waist high of the character and then press the A button. You can climb on movable objects as well. To climb down from an object, press A while standing on the edge of the object. Equipping weapons. In the status screen, select the weapon you want, then select the equip command. Even if you have a weapon, you must equip it in order to use it. Attacking stance. Hold down the left trigger. The player will take an attacking stance towards the closest enemy. For me, that's going to be right trigger, because I'm using B-type game controls. How to attack. Press RT, right toggle, while holding left toggle. You can attack the enemy with the weapon you equipped. Yeah, my attack weapon is going to be my A button, I think. 180-degree turn. Press X while pressing down on the direction pad. This can also be done using the right stick alone. Just tap the right stick. Just kind of flick at the right stick with your thumb in any direction, and you'll do a quick 180 turn. And that's all. This is like your basic STARS manual. Okay. We've looked at the map here. So you start off with Jill has a samurai edge, Beretta 92FS. So this is going to be the what is it? Real weapon naming mod. This is going to be that in action. I'm going to cross that off my notes. I've covered it with you. Using a mod that gives it the real name of the real life counterpart. The items in the inventory, their actual icons over here should look slightly different. Maybe not better, it all depends on the person, but these are supposed to be improved inventory items. The graphics for them are supposed to be better, sharper. They might be slightly altered, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. The door skip mod you'll see every time we go through a door. It's slightly there, but it's very quick. If you use my standalone mod mentioned in the modding video for door skipping, it'll be pretty quick with just a solid black screen, but I wanted to leave the sound and show a little bit of the door, so I chose to use the door skip and the trainer. And the upscale textures mod I'm using that I discussed in the modding video, you'll just see that in all the graphics. It doesn't affect character images or models or enemies. It's just textures 3D models have. The backgrounds and stuff, they're all upscaled. And then the fonts and the menus, like the words you see here, they should be a little cleaner, maybe sharper. I'm using that improved menu fonts. And then the other two things I wanted to mention, modding wise. They're just audio related, will happen later. So Jill starts off with this gun. We can equip it, examine it, combine it with ammo to reload it. But if you click examine, you can use your right and left button to zoom in and out on it. And you can spin it around with the left stick, completely at 360 degrees. The right stick will change orientation as well. It's cool. You can sit here and like get zoomed in on the bullet chamber. Can't really see inside it, but if you press A for check, a STARS custom automatic fires 9mm parabellum rounds. So let me zoom back all the way out and straighten up. Let me just actually come out and that'll reset the view. So if I press A, it'll animate the gun too. Watch it. Here we go. So it like fires around. It's cool. And then it gives you a little description. You can do that with everything in the game. So if it's your first playthrough or if you're watching me play, I'm going to try to come in and make sure I show a little more about each item we pick up. So we want that equipped. I'm not sure that we're supposed to have 2 survival knives equipped right now. But we do, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not gonna use the knife. You can use the knife. It's harder to use in this game. Examine. Survival knife, a mid-sized lightweight survival knife. Jill's personal protection knife used for close encounters. So this is her like personal knife. So what about this other one? Survival knife, carbon reinforced alloy blade with serrated edges. Chris has been using it since his days in the Air Force. Yeah, I don't think we're supposed to have this. I'm not sure why we do. Maybe something to do with the trainer, but I'm not going to use it anyway. As soon as we get to a cache box, I'm just going to dump it. But you're probably not going to start with that. And I don't want to alt-tab right now to see if it is a deal with the trainer. I'll look at it later. You're probably just supposed to start with the samurai edge and her knife. I'll show you what this looks like. You got to equip it, come back out. Now the gun is put away, but we have the knife, and you can aim upward. You can aim normal, neutral. And you can do these attacks with weapons as well. You have a neutral attack, a downward attack, and an upward attack. And you can't walk backwards while you're in the attack posture. You can hold it down and she'll just keep doing it. You can switch positions and just keep it held like a turbo. If you tap it, she's not any faster either. Wrong button. So like Chris's is like, looks smaller. Yeah, I don't think we should have Chris's. Hers definitely looks bigger. But we want the gun, so we're going to equip the gun. You can't have both equipped. You'll eventually pick up defense items. You get daggers as Jill. I think Chris gets grenades and something else, but Jill gets daggers. They're one-time use, so it's like you break it basically off into the zombie and it stays stuck in them when you use it. And she gets tasers. Chris may also get the dagger, but he gets a grenade, but Jill gets tasers. So those are like a separate item you have to equip. You can see our little fine meter over there. Green is good, red is bad, and you're almost dead, and it will say danger or caution. So fine right now, we're healthy, no damage, full health. We got 15 bullets in our gun. That pretty much covers the inventory, and we've already looked at the map. So yeah, you aim, you have a lock-on button. There's no enemies, but my lock-on is left toggle, so even if something is on the other side of the screen from you and you can't see them and you're facing the opposite way, if you hold your gun out and then lock on and you're close enough to the enemy, she would turn and face this way, and then you would know where it was coming from. And then you might want to use the down key, you know, on the directional pad to back up a little and get away. So we'll pick this up. I think I've covered most things already. So we went over the graphical interface and all that, and we'll go over the other two mods as they come up. And I have my few puzzle solutions here. Take a sip of water. I'm glad I decided to do an hour-long video. So this is our first ink ribbon. Will you take the ink ribbon? Yes. You can open it up and go look at it. We get 3 ink ribbons from that one pickup. So that means you can hard save, or basically save in the game 3 times. And there's no quick saving or nothing in this game. It's just you save when you can. You're going to have more chances to save since you're on easy mode than you would on normal mode, because you'll find more ink ribbons more often. Okay, so I've always found this funny and noticed it. I don't know how many other people have noticed it, but I'm definitely going to point it out in my own video and my own channel. The word royal type. Look at how messed up the word royal is. It's like the L and the Y. It should be R-O-Y-A-L. It's like they mixed the L before the Y and they didn't mean to, but they didn't fix it. So I don't know how many people have noticed that. It's fixed in other games that use ink ribbons, but this game and this is not because of the texture mod. I initially thought it was, but it isn't, because the texture mod, even the modder told me, he said I didn't mess with anything in the inventory, so it's just a glitch in the texture in the game that Capcom never addressed. You can't even read that, it's so small. So I've always found that funny. But it says ink ribbon for typewriter, royal type. And then what do you know, right behind us is a typewriter, so we can immediately save. I'm not going to save just yet. So yeah, one of the other mods, so you can see the textures here. I mean, I'm going to brighten this. It's going to be a little brighter probably than even I'm seeing it, but this is a dark area. But these textures on the wall and the ground and everything should all be upscaled looking. And I use the sound mod to make the grandfather clock ticking a little less, not as loud. When the two have run each other through, the path to your destiny will open. A picture of two knights striking each other. The short sword has been thrust into the breast of one knight, while the long sword has pierced the head of the other. It's pretty rough either way you get it there. One's getting it in the rib cage and another's getting it right in the head. The only movement is the silent flicker of the candle's flame. When you look at something, if you press the A button again, it'll cycle through quicker. I'm going to try to read things for you guys and like click on anything that I think will have a description. You can try to go out that door. I won't do that. I'll leave that for you. I'm just going to assume that we're proceeding forward with following Barry. Barry is at the other end. Barry Burton. We're playing as Jill Valentine. We were with somebody named Chris Redfield, and he's disappeared. The other guy with the glasses, that's Wesker. Albert Wesker. He's like our boss. We work for the STARS team. Trying to give you guys a little lore as we go along. STARS is Special Tactics and Rescue Squad or Service. I think it's Service. But with bio attached to that, meaning usually something to do with a bio outbreak or a life form type thing. But we have special weapons training, survival tactics. We know how to deal with tough stuff, and we're part of that crew as Jill. And the second playthrough, when we go through this game again, we'll be playing as Chris Redfield. So we've split up from Albert Wesker, and we're paired with Barry Burton as Jill. We'll be paired with somebody different when we play as Chris.
I think you'd better take a look at this.
What is it?
Blood. Jill, see if you can find any other clues. I'll be examining this. Let's just hope it's not Chris's.
Barry looks really suspicious there at the end. Alright, so he's examining that. You get to play as Barry Burton, and it's not the first revelation, so I think it's the second. Yeah, it's the second one. They finally give Barry a leading role, and you get to play some episodes in that game as him. What else we got here? So, will you take the emblem? I would, so I could show it to you, but if I do, I can't put it back, and I know we don't need it yet. So when you see this, we only have 8 inventory slots. This is survival horror at its finest. This was a proper remake, which would have been in and of itself a remaster at the time when this came out, which I think 2002, 2003, don't quote me. I've written it down, I think, in this video, at the top of the description. But this is a remake of the original version on the PlayStation 1, and then it's been remastered. And then I'm using an upscale mod to make the textures like 4K. But you get 4 slots as Jill, and you get 6 when you play as Chris. So we don't need this yet, because where we need to use it, we don't even need to use it yet, or can't get to, because the door's locked. So don't take it. Just remember it's there, because you'll need it. But when you need it, then you can come right here real quick and get it. because this is going to be a funnel point. Let me take a sip of drink here. Mouth is getting stuck together. As you can see, I try to be as professional as I can in these playthroughs and shut my mouth during cutscenes so that you can experience the story in the cutscenes. I won't make too many comments during those. So yeah, the space you have is precious because you need items to solve things, to heal yourself, to have ammunition, to carry more than one gun at a time. That's why we need to dump these knives all together. Unless you're trying to play a knife-only playthrough, which I suggest you look on YouTube. I think it is possible to beat this game with knife-only, surprisingly. We can talk to Barry again.
Barry.
Barry is way too enthralled with touching this blood over and over. Alright, so we're supposed to head through here. So you'll see the door skip transition here when we go through. So there you go. You get a little bit of it, but it's super quick. Because there's no load time necessary on PC especially, so it's just a long animation. I mean, it's not bad the first playthrough, but even the first playthrough, this will speed things up, so. Okay, we're gonna go left. I remember most things. No thanks, buddy. I'll just, he's a-comin'. Save me, Barry!
Barry!
What is it?
Look out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of it. What the hell is this thing?
I found Kenneth killed by this thing. Let's report this to Wesker.
Alright, so... No, he got up. So should I use my ribbon yet? Barry's just following us now. He's like tethered to us. He's just gonna follow. Yeah, Barry's rocking like a Colt 45, I think. Or a Magnum. That gun is massive. It'd be cool if Barry would get in his ready position too. I'm just debating, I'm not gonna do it yet. Just gonna, well, I think I should because the curse of recording on YouTube, you're likely to have a crash. So I'm gonna go ahead and, it's an old typewriter. You can save your progress. Use the ink ribbon, yes. So then you're gonna use one of those three so that you can save. And here we're gonna overwrite my original save. And I should be smart this time. When you're recording for YouTube, you should save multiple times. So like, it's chapter level based and you can make a new save. Don't overwrite. That way you have a trail of saves in case you ever need to go back because you realize something happened. Like 5 saves ago, you accidentally didn't record your talking audio when you thought you were. If you really needed to, you could go back and load an old save and then re-record your talking and play through. So I'm going to rewrite over the original. And then there we go. And then now we're one ink ribbon less. Alright, so this is where we're supposed to go. I love this game.
Wesker! Jill, help me look for him. Let's not leave this hall.
Good idea.
Okay. So, I mean, when it comes to this game, I know a lot about it. I'm just not that experienced playing it. Because, honestly, I played the original Resident Evil 1, 2s, and 3s, and 4 and all that. But I didn't get to play this remake that was on the GameCube originally until it came to Steam for PC. That was the first time I got to play it, because I never had a GameCube. So, yeah, people got to experience this all those years, and I never got to. So I felt like I really missed out a lot, and I did, hugely. This would have been amazing to play on the GameCube at the time. So here's the front door. But I know about things from what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to handle situations. It doesn't mean I'm going to handle them the right way. I know speedrunning tactics. Not that I've ever speedran it, but I watch a lot of the YouTuber streamer. I'm going to keep mentioning his name because he's really cool. Carcinogen SDA. He's a speedrunner. Now he primarily does challenge runs where he tries to do like no damage or knife only, but like he's doing a lot of no damage runs now of Resident Evil, and like he did no damage for Callisto Protocol, for Dead Space. But he's taken his knowledge and experience in speedrunning and implementing it into completing these challenge runs, which is freaking amazing. He's super cool dude. Go subscribe to him if you haven't already. But I've watched hours and hours and hours of his content, so I know the different things you can do. So I'll mention them as I go. I'm not going to play this like, oh my god, this is my first time ever playing. I'm going to impart information I know. So like for a speedrun tactic in here, I think you just have to run up these stairs, which we will do in a minute, but and you trigger a camera angle to change, and then when you can immediately run back down, you'll get a cutscene and start progressing the story. You have to get a certain way away from Barry and look around a while for it to trigger it. But you can go back here. Better finish searching the hall first. But see it, know it's there. This is going to be locked, I believe. Yeah, better finish searching the hall first. So we're supposed to go up here a little bit. Better finish searching the hall first. I don't know if she'll even go all the way up here. She will. She doesn't want to go through any of the doors, but... yeah, I gotta get used to... you're gonna hear some clicking. I want to apologize for that, because... like right now, when you do the thumbstick... see, that's the problem you have. Like right now, down is moving me this way, but if I let go here and then press down, I start going back the way I came, because then the new up is down now. But if you come through this screen with tank controls, even if you stop, you keep going the same way. So, but you're gonna hear me. I'm doing it right there. Gonna listen back in recording or editing. Let's see how loud that is, but that's me using my D-pad for tank movement. So she's not gonna go anywhere, but it doesn't mean these are locked or unlocked. It's just now you're supposed to know to go back down, and then it'll cutscene.
Barry.
Any luck, Jill?
No, nothing. What's going on around here? I can't figure it out.
Same here.
Chris, and now Wesker.
There's not much we can do. We can search for him separately. I'll investigate the dining room again.
Okay, then. I'll try the door on the other side.
This mansion is gigantic. We could easily get lost. Let's start from the first floor.
Okay.
Oh! I almost forgot. It's a lockpick. You'd make better use of it.
You got the lockpick. Sweet.
Thanks. I may need it.
Listen. If something happens, let's meet up in this hall. Got it?
Okay.
The classic, you know, horror movie trope and video game trope of let's all separate because we're stronger apart, you know? Alright, let's look at that. So we got... So when you play Chris, you get a lighter that Jill gets to find also, but Chris never gets to find the lockpick. He gets to find things called little keys or old keys, and those are like his lockpicks. Obviously they're consumed per use, but hers is an infinite lockpick. And he has basically an infinite lighter, but we'll find the lighter later, so you both start with something different. Lockpick, a tool for unlocking most simple locks. So Jill doesn't have to find the keys, and I think the keys have to sit in an inventory slot as well when you play as Chris. Yeah, because the lighter will be in his slot where it's not necessary to use this now. Where her lockpick is will be where the lighter is, and the little keys that he gets will be in his inventory. And yeah, I don't think there was a mod available that put in the classic line that they used to say in the original, where Barry would say, you, the master of unlocking, should take it with you. And that's when he gives you that lockpick. So like Jill's known for like master locking stuff. So this is the very front door of the mansion, and you can open it, but I am not going to because I am smart. You remember when we first got in here, the cutscene had a bunch of zombie Doberman dogs chasing us, so they're still out there, and I won't spoil everything in this game for you. If you do play this game yourself, I do recommend you come here. Go save, make a save with your ink ribbons in the dining hall there, and open this door and see what meets you on the other side. But I'm not going to open it. Okay, so Barry went back that way. Now we can go down here again and look. Okay. Wonder what's on the other side of this door. Well, nothing good. There are octagonal indentations to the right and left of the door. Yeah, so we have to find 2 octagon-shaped thingies. I don't remember off the top of my head what they are. And those will both unlock that door. This is locked. It is locked. An emblem of a helmet is carved into the lock. So this is considered, if you're going by the guide, Mansion 1. Because you leave, you do the mansion, like the first part, you leave and go elsewhere, then you come back through it. So this is Mansion 1 right now, and you'll get keys in here that are labeled, this one being a helmet key, which we haven't found yet, but when you look on your map here, okay, we can see 2nd floor because we went up there a minute ago. There's 3 locked doors and 2 unlocked doors up there. But that door we just tried behind us to the right is red because we don't have the key. But it doesn't indicate on the map that that's for a helmet key. But you'll see these same maps linked into this video in the description to my Google Drive. Maps that look just like this because they're screenshots of this map, and then they're indicated with little colored arrows that this is a door this key will work for, and I wrote the key name on the map, so then you can tell where throughout the map of the whole mansion that you can use all the keys on quick. So we can go this way or we can go that way. I'm trying to think which way. I'm trying to get back to the map. I don't actually know which way I want to go yet. I think I'll wait going that way. You can go this way. I'm not going to go that way just yet. Let me look at the guide real quick that I'm following. We're almost at the end of this video. But let me just see where I'm at on the guide. Cutscene. See where it says to go. Head up the stairs, turn around, head back down. Cutscene with Barry. Okay, the way I'm trying to go is the way the guide wants me to go. Back to where we saw that zombie. That's called the, by the way, I recently kind of learned it not too long ago. I think the zombie that turns around and looks at you in that cutscene, he's called like the turning zombie or the turning around zombie. So we're not going to go up to the second floor, you know, just like how the flames flicker. We'll try to do floor by floor. That's how you should play. Start on the same floor. Okay, so earlier that zombie that we did make a save that Barry shot, he got up and left and went back out the door. He didn't die. So, got a comment on this. A large filth-encrusted jar. Okay. This is where that plaque emblem is. And I said don't take it yet, so leave it, because once you take it, you can't put it back. We looked at that picture. There's a grandfather clock. So that's everything in this bottom area here. And a timer's going off on me here. So that was an hour-long video. pretty dense video with all the talking and explaining in the beginning and then finally getting into some gameplay. But yeah, I decided last minute to make it like a double long video just so I could... like I said, I've made a... Go check out the community tab. I made a comment in there, or a topic in there recently about my first few gameplays in a series being super slow, or that I'm too slow playing these games or something. But it's intentional, or it's just it's just what's going to happen with how I'm doing my videos, is that I'm going to do a lot of talking, and I like to explain and point things out and take time with stuff. I'm not speedrunning here. I'm playing it like it's the first time for me again, and the first time ever for you to see what I'm showing, you know, kind of like a time capsule. So anybody watches this in the future, they can feel what it would be like to play this game, and it be similar to a first playthrough as much as possible. Because who knows how long this game will play on modern systems, you know, before things get too advanced. And you can't play this, or people don't even want to play games like this anymore. So I thank you for watching and listening to all my rambling. I haven't had any problems. I didn't have any crashes. I hit the microphone a few times with my headset, which I'll try to fix. But thank you for watching, and we'll get into some real meaty gameplay in the next video. So thanks, and we'll see you in the next part. Bye.